Hi everyone, I'm Nrrdeh, and this is a video of my thoughts and theories for the game Among the Sleep. Okay, so here's the thing. If you haven't either played through it yourself or watched a playthrough of it, I would suggest pausing this video and then playing through it, or watch a playthrough, whichever one you want to do, and then come back to this video and watch it, and then we can compare notes or whatever. But, I'll wait. Okay, so I'm assuming that you've already done one of those two things, or if you have already played or watched a playthrough of it. To begin with, you probably didn't even press pause. So let's just get right into it. Let's recap the story really quick. Among the Sleep starts on a child's second birthday party in which the only attendees are an only child and mother. The mother answers the door, a fight with the person there ensues. She then comes back with a present. The phone rings and the mother puts the child in a playpen in order to answer the phone. The child escapes, opens the gift, then searches for a sentient teddy bear who introduces himself as Teddy. Teddy suggests we play in the closet, which then transforms into a long room filled with coats and black tar. Mom finds the child and it's bedtime, but during bedtime, an invisible entity takes Teddy and tosses over the crib. The child rescues Teddy and a journey to find the mother begins. While searching, the child and Teddy find a slide that leads them to a dreamscape that features a playhouse with a strange machine in it. By adding a memory item to the machine, they are brought to a different dreamscape area, and in those areas, they must find a memory to add to the machine in an effort to find the mom. While searching for memory items, the child is chased by two different monsters, one that looks like a troll and the other one that looks like a coat. When these monsters are near, the child's vision blurs, and often the child must hide underneath something to get away from them. Just before finishing up the final memory, the coat monster attempts to stop the child, causing the child to fall down a hole. The coat monster grabs Teddy, but this only causes Teddy's arm to fall off and the child to fall down the aforementioned hole. The child then sees the mother change into different monsters, and after that the child finds itself back in the dreamscape playhouse. And after inserting the final memory, the child is transported back to their bedroom. When the child gets to the kitchen, the mother is sitting on the floor drinking and crying, holding Teddy. Just as the child attempts to get Teddy back, the mother strikes the child and says she didn't mean to and that it's too much. There's a knock at the door, the mother ignores it, but the child goes to the door and is greeted with a white light and the father's voice. Okay, so to start this video off, I'm going to talk about the locations in the games. I know everybody likes to talk about the monsters, and I will talk about the monsters, but I'll do that at the end part because, they're pretty much figured out, I guess. The third chapter of the game takes place in two interconnected locations: the crumbling, overgrown home and the swamp that the home sits on. The home itself could be seen to represent both the child's immediate family and extended family. The house crumbling and falling apart is a visual representation of the breakdown of the parents' marriage. The expression broken home refers to a family unit that has been separated due to the rocky relationship that the parents have. And here we have a literal broken home. The house could represent the extended family for a couple of reasons. The antique furnishing is from another time, and when we get our first memory, floating in the air is this globe, which is also seen in this decrepit sitting room in the crumbling house. The tree roots that are creeping into the house also symbolize the family roots of not only alcoholism, but also separated families. These roots are the most dominant in the room with the paintings. There are 3 paintings in total. As you move closer to the paintings, they change. This is a way to show that from an outsider's perspective, things in the family look great, but when you know the family on a closer level, you can see that they have a tumultuous home life. The paintings disappear when you get very close, revealing the area behind them. Each painting has a significant set piece that appears in the area behind the painting. The people in these paintings are the mother when she was a child and her parents. We can infer this because the first memory we get is the pendant, and the mother says,
"It used to belong to your grandma."
And in the middle of the giant painting room is the puzzle with the woman and the small child, and the woman is wearing, yep, you guessed it, the pendant. The first painting we see shows a woman, man, and daughter on a bridge overlooking water. When getting closer to the picture, the woman is seen leaning towards the water, and the man is in the background walking away. And when we get even closer, the man is gone and the woman is leaning more toward the water. This painting symbolizes the breakup of the family and the mother's developing alcohol problem. The place behind this painting features the bridge that the mother and daughter were standing on as the father walked away. However, this bridge is broken, and the only way to cross it is by a single plank connecting one side to the other. The bridge could be seen as the relationship between the mother and father. It's broken off, but they're still connected via their daughter. The second painting shows the woman at a well, probably from the perspective of the girl. When we get closer to this picture, we see the woman get water from the well and drink it, and the last transformation shows the woman turning into Haida. This shows that the child knows that the mother's monstrous behavior towards them happens because of what the mother drinks. We can also see that as Haida moves, she leaves a trail of black sludge, like the sludge we see earlier in the game. The place behind this painting features the well, and is the first time in the game that we deal with Haida. The puzzle piece that we collect in this area is in the bucket in the well. The puzzle piece we find in this well is the top middle part, the mother's face. This specific piece being in the well shows us that the mother is lost in her drinking. The third and final painting at first shows the mother and the daughter sitting together in a library. As we get closer, the mother is covered with the black sludge we see in the second painting and in the closet at the initial house. The mother fades and is replaced by a tree, and the child is ultimately left alone in the woods. The painting's transition shows that the mother had become consumed by her alcoholism, and the relationship with the daughter has decayed to the point where the child feels as if she's been left alone in the world. The area behind this painting is a library that transitions into the outside swamp. Haida is patrolling this area, and in the middle of the library is a quickly flowing river. The river splitting up the library is similar to how alcoholism split up the mother and daughter. The jigsaw puzzle is in the middle of the room that holds the three paintings. The picture on the puzzle is of the mother and daughter by water. The mother's ankles are in the water, and the daughter is holding a book and smiling. When we first encounter the jigsaw puzzle, it's in pieces, displaying the broken relationship between the mother and her child. Putting all the pieces together leads us to the final painting, where the mother disappears. The paintings lead me to believe that the crumbling house in the swamp is in fact a representation of the alcoholism that runs through the family on the mother's side. At the beginning of the game, the child's home is bright and unassuming. It just looks like a normal house. When the mother brings the child upstairs, we see that there are cardboard boxes around the home. This indicates that the child and mother just moved into this house. It could be that the parents just separated and this is the home the mother and child moved to, or it could just be the newest home the mother has moved the child to. Later on in the game, the mother says,
"Will not take you from me."
so we know that the custody battle is less than amicable. The mother might be moving often with the child, so the father can't find them. This could be why the mother looks nervous when there's a knock at the door. When she answers it, all we hear her say is,
What are you doing?
and the child immediately becomes fearful, clouding the rest of the conversation before the mother shouts no. She might have been more angry than normal because he had found them again. The home that the child and mother live in can be seen as the embodiment of their relationship. This place is initially easy to navigate, as in the first chapter it is still just a normal house. During the night, the dwelling transforms from bright to dark and intimidating. You become unsure as to what's just around the corner, which would lead the child to proceed with caution. This timid way of moving through the child's own home is parallel to living with an alcoholic that has abusive outbursts. On our way to find the final memory, we have to traverse a chaotic mess of a house. It's harder to navigate than it was before. There are small doors with small cabinet-sized rooms to hide in. The furniture is sometimes seen on the ceiling and walls. There are empty alcohol bottles, broken walls, unpacked boxes, clumps of clothing, and finicky lighting. It's an absolute disorder. This space shows the confusion and turmoil the child would go through while trying to handle the mother when she's wasted. I think this space also hints at the possibility that the mother is moving herself and the child around to hide from the father. This is due to the boxes, and the space also looks like other houses smashed together. When the child was hit by his mother at the end, I think the child died. Children are fragile, and that shove could have ended in the child hitting his head for the last time. The mother says,
I'm sorry. I never meant to.
which is often heard in accidental deaths, but after that doesn't go to comfort the child or check on the child because she's drunk and feeling sorry for herself, which is why she follows that statement up with,
It's too much.
The knock at the door never actually happened, which is why the mother didn't respond to it. This was the child passing on or going into the light. The game hints at the mother's alcoholism throughout all the levels by leaving empty alcohol bottles all over the place. It also hints at the child's fear of the mother's anger early on in the game when the father comes to visit. The child's vision blurs just as it does whenever a monster is around. The end of the game gives us a clear indication that the child sees the mother as a monster when she is drunk or even hungover. The first monster is called Haida. The creature is tall and lanky with large, intimidating hands and feet. These oversized extremities could represent the physical abuse done by the mother when she is drinking. As we see at the end of the game, the mother's drunken anger can result in physical abuse. Haida doesn't actively search for the child and will only interact if the child gets in its way. Haida grabs onto the child's arms and brings the child's face up to hers to scream at him. This shows both the neglect and the abuse the child has to endure due to the mother's drinking problem. The 2-year-old child does not speak, which displays the extent of the mother's neglect.
Not much of a talker yet, eh?
Haida patrols the watery spaces in the levels. After she passes by the hidden child, we can follow her and she won't bother the child. While doing this, I saw that just before she leaves the area, she takes a drink and then bursts into water. This shows both how deep the mother is in her alcoholism and that the monster Haida is the alcohol. The other monster in the game is called Heap, and I had 2 different ideas of who Heap could have represented. Let's start off with the father, as that was who I thought it was going to be initially. This might be a little bit of a leap because we never see the father except for in that one picture, but he could wear coats when he comes to try to see the child. The child could fear Heap as it represents the father for a couple different reasons. One is the child might not really know the father. It's clear that the mother doesn't allow him in on the child's birthday, and if she has full custody, we might assume that this is business as usual. The child would also be conditioned to hearing the mother yell whenever the father attempts to see the child, and therefore the child would associate the same fear of angry mom with the father as well. And when we look at the prologue DLC, we see memories of the parents fighting, and one of them looks like the father had just hit the mother, which would traumatize the child. It was this argument that caused the mother to pack things and leave with the child. The child might then associate the parents fighting with suddenly leaving home, especially if the mother is constantly moving with the child to keep the child from the father. Heap's tendency to look for the child could represent the father coming over to try to see the child. When the child is trying to get back to the playhouse, Heap grabs the child, which causes the fall. This moment could represent the father trying to get his child from the mother, as this is just before the child finds the mother. However, the mother being both of the monsters, where each one represents different types of interactions the child has with her while she's drunk, is much more likely. And also, yes, because the story tells us that at the end. In the beginning, when the mother finds the child in the closet, the mother says,
You've got to stop hiding from Mommy.
which lets us know that the child hides from their mother often and possibly mostly in the closets. Heap represents the mother in her moments when she's hungover and can't stand loud noises, and in the times when possibly she might remember that there's a child she's responsible for. When the child knocks over bottles either on purpose or on accident, Heap actively looks for the child to either scold or pull the child away from the glass, or both. Heap's grab of the child that causes the child to fall down to the abyss could be seen as the mother attempting to stop the child from hiding from her, or it could be seen as an aggressive move to further punish the child that just finished making a bunch of noise. The only thing Heap actually latched onto was Teddy. The fact that Teddy was broken and in the mother's clutches when the child finds her outside of the dreamscape and away from the monsters further shows that the mother is Heap. Thank you guys for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments if you have any different theories or disagree with me or agree with me, or maybe I missed something. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed it and share it with whomever you want. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. To all of my subscribers, thank you guys so much. They're cool. And also a special shout out to my patron Sabat. Thank you very much. Social media links are in the description below if you want to follow me at any of those places. This is the end of the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!